What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. You can see I'm getting set up here to switch out the SuperCharger. And the only reason why I'm really doing it now, to be honest, is because I got a code for these oil pressure sensors, and one of them, I got two of them, ordered these both from FCP Euro, and this gray one is usually the one that goes bad, and this one sits under the SuperCharger. So I figure since I'm taking it off, might as well go ahead and switch out the ported to the ported SuperCharger you guys been hearing me talk about. I really wanted to do a more in-depth video to do a comparison between the ported SuperCharger and the stock one, because it's going to give you a better perspective on what's involved, and you could, you know, see more of where the benefits are and everything from the stock to there. So I did talk to a porter that's out here in California, and so what I'm gonna do is because I'm not gonna take this one all apart right now, because I want to get this on the car and get the car back up and going. So this is not going to really be a how-to video or anything like that, like how to remove it or anything and put it back in and all that. I'll probably show some of it, but I talked to another porter, a guy that does SuperCharger porting out here in Cali. His name is Ted Vila. He actually gave me some pointers and stuff on doing this and helped me out with some measurements and stuff. And then of course, I put some of my own twist on certain things that I thought would be beneficial from my experience of doing, you know, some porting and stuff like that. And I'm not a professional or anything like that. I just got some experience with doing some port work. So originally, I went to the junkyard, got a SuperCharger, and I figured I was going to take my time and port it, but as you guys always hear me say on the channel, the last few years, I've been going back and forth to Colorado to work. So I didn't really have enough time. So I finally looked around at different SuperCharger porters and their pricing and everything. And I was like, okay, if I'm going to pay money, I want to get the max benefit, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, I looked around, looked at pictures, asked questions as much as I can, and I came across Jokers, and I saw that there was one area that he got to that I was like, I don't think anyone's gonna be able to get to that by hand, because I think he said he uses a CNC, and that's this part in there, that part right there, the throat area. So I was like, yeah, I can, because I could do the rest of the stuff myself, but I was like, I could just send it to him, get everything done. And you know, he advertises a full tilt port work. And then so I was like, let me follow up. I checked reviews and everything. He had 5 stars everywhere and didn't really see any complaints about his work. And so I called him up and I said, yeah, you know, just what I explained to you guys. He hit all the right points about his theories on this particular charger and everything else, and everything sounded good. So I went into detail. I said, yeah, this is what I really want based off of the picture that you have online. That's what the only reason why I'm really coming to you, because I want that done. So he's like, yeah, okay, I can do that, blah, 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 whatever. So I said, yeah, and I see another SuperCharger that he says, a rare one that's all aluminum, that he said that he's able to go into it a little bit more and blah, 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 you know, because it's aluminum and, you know. So I was like, oh, okay, whatever, you know, saw that when I was like, I just want to get this one done. So when they box it up, ship it to him and all that, you know, I think he talked to me a few times, and I told him that, hey, I have an Ultracharger on the way. Should I wait to send that to you? Because I want to get that one port matched to how much you open it up right here. Because I forgot how much he said he opens it up. So he tells me, oh no, I already match it to that particular, to this particular APR thing right here. So anyway, I send it to him, and at some point I measure this and I'm like, wait a minute, this is like, it goes to the stock size. I think this end that connects to the charger was the stock size. So I'm like, how is he porting it to that? So I talked to him and he gave me some hoopla, whatever. So I was like, well, at this point, I need to get it back because I'm going to go out of town. I was going to do some more work or whatever. So anyway, he sends me the SuperCharger back, and I get the SuperCharger back, and I'm like, wait a minute. It's like, this wasn't really done like I have it right here. I did this myself. He did some of it, but it wasn't anything like what in the pictures are. I'm the one who got it to like what he has in the pictures, but he did some. So, you know, I hit him up. I'm like, hey, man, what's up? And then I was like, hey, and then this opening wasn't even really opened up at all. I forgot what I measured it at, but it was barely, I mean, he ported it a little bit, but I did this. I opened it up more myself. And then on top of that, I did the measurements, and it was like larger one way, shorter the other way. Then the hole was kind of off centered. So I'm like, man, what, you know, what the hell was, you know, it wasn't even a perfect, it wasn't even a circle. Like some places were coming in, and it was just crap to me. So me and him start talking. He's like, you know, of course he's like texting me sometimes late at night. Because, you know, I'll email him or send him a message or whatever. And, you know, sometimes he would get back to me and say this is that. So he just starts going off on the deep end. Just real weird. And I'm just like, man, are you okay? And I'm just like, look, dude, you know, if you're under some stress or whatever, get back. Because he just starts saying random stuff in a text, amongst all things, that, oh, I've got 20 demon superchargers on the thing, or 26 or something like that, that I have to get done, and blah blah this, blah blah that. And you know, he's saying, I'm like, and you know, to me, I'm like, hey, that's not my problem, you know. So I'm like, hey, I just wanted what I paid for, and his stuff isn't cheap. And I'm like, okay, this is that. I look at everything else. He didn't touch these ports at all, and I don't know why he tells you to send the other bypass valve up here with it, because I didn't see anything that he does to it. Matter of fact, I still see the factory marks right here. But the machine, I guess whatever he uses does get right here. It just didn't do the best job. So anyway, that was that. He starts telling me this and that. So I'm like, look, dude, I just want what I paid for. So he just kind of starts dropping the ball, like, yeah, just look, my work isn't for you, blah blah this, blah blah that. And he says that for me to send this one back, and he'll send me another stock one. And I think he said he'll give me part of my money back or something like that. So I'm just like, dude, come on, man. And then he says, I said, look, dude, I would hate to have to I said, this is not what I paid for, man. And I'm like, man, if I would have known all this, I could have done what you did, most of it myself, except for what he did do for that part in there, which wasn't anything crazy. So anyway, long story short, he tells me about his warranty. He kind of points me to his warranty. And man, if you go and go to his site and read the warranty information, is basically saying that he's not liable for anything at all. And even if there's a dispute, it's up to him if he decides to. And basically, when you buy his part, that's what you're agreeing to. So basically, there's pretty much nothing you can do unless you got some big money to take him to court. So, and then I thought about, I was like, you know, who the hell needs to, and I said, man, if I would have read that, I would have thought twice, but I didn't think about it because I talked to him. He sounded down to earth, and, you know, so he got me. So, anyway, he he went towards, you know, like I said, basically telling me about the warranty info and all that, and says that, yeah, and if you try to this, that, I'm just going to point them towards my warranty info and everything's good on my end. I'm like, this dude is shit. So I'm like, you know, why is there not, I said, because I can't be the only one. I'm like, why is there not, and that's why. Because I did contact Better Business Bureau, but Better Business Bureau is like, there's only so much that they can do, and there's only so far as they're going to go. So basically, there was nothing they could do, because he's telling me that, you know, oh yeah, I'm willing to send, you know, he sends me that on his charger back, and I'll send him another. But I'm like, at this point, I don't trust that he's going to do it, because the other thing is, when I get it back, when I saw that, I said, you know, let me open up the rest of it. So I open up this, and I had drained the oil out before I sent it to him. So I get it back, and I'm like, he had to pour some new oil. So I pour the oil out, because I'm like, I'm taking it apart. I'm going to pour it myself at this point. So I take it apart, pour the oil out, and some of the old oil was mixed in. And if you look at his description, it says he does a full tear down and rebuild of the charger. So obviously he did not do that. He just poured some oil in it. So I'm like, dude, come on, man. I'm like, this dude is crap. So anyway, long story short, I just kind of left it alone at that point. Did the rest myself. I opened this up, and I went to the inside, and I got it how I wanted it. So I shaped it up more, took some more material out in there on that part. And then you can see that I went in here, I did the ports myself. I kind of gave them a bevel so the air is coming down, and you can see here, there's a part right here. Let me move this more in the light for you. There's a part that's right here that this is going flat across all the way out to here, and that's where the intercoolers sit. So I thought, like, hey, I'm gonna take some of that material away and ramp it down, and this is real nice. If you could put your finger in there and feel it, it's like a real nice port going down. So it's basically not a lot of resistance, because the supercharger air is coming in and hitting that wall right there, and it's just sitting there. I'm like, that's a hot spot. And if you look at most of the failures on the stock intercoolers, they fail right there. They always fail in this area over here. So I went ahead and did that, and I opened this up as much as I could, and you can see I went around that corner, got inside. And see, I did this myself. I think what he sent me, this was straight, and this was more straight going across. It was almost like a big square almost. And what he sells on his site is how I have it here. So I just went in with the Dremel, some different bits and stuff, or drilled everything, and took my time and got all that. I opened up this exit port right here at the top, shaped it best as I could. And like I said, I already said the port, there were some parts that stick out on the wall. Let me turn this light on. I don't think it's really helping, but you can see right there are some parts that come out, and they're kind of like a boxy square. Actually, that light is making it worse. But I took those down and smoothed them out, trying to get the best flow out of the charger as I could. And there's another part up here, my finger, this right here. Some people take that away, but I just left it because it's there for strength, and you know, I didn't really want to go too far into that. But basically that's what I did. So I'm gonna have to like I said, I'm gonna be taking this off tonight, putting everything back together, and just going from there. But my recommendation for the money, I would say he's not giving you a full tilt. It is not. He's basically all he's doing is, I think he touches this barely a little bit. His machine touches that, and I think that a little bit, and that's it. I mean, come on, dude. So I'm like, I would say find somebody that does it by hand, look at their work, because they're doing a lot more and you're getting a lot more. You're paying less and you're getting a lot more for your money. So go one to them. So lesson learned for me. I'll never deal with him again. And the funny thing is, if you've seen the video when I did the middle muffler for this, the Gibson, that guy has a SuperCharger. We were just talking about the cars and everything. I was like, yeah, I sent my charger to get ported at Joker's. As soon as I said, before I even went into anything, this guy was like, oh man, I heard that guy is a piece of, you know, and at his work. And I'm like, you know, that's why. It's because the way his warranty is, nothing can really stick. So unless people just post about it, that's why you never really hear about it. Because if anything gets posted or anything, it could get legally, it can get removed. They could say, well, you had the opportunity to bring it back, and, you know, based off of his warranty and all this, and that's a real slick move. So that's probably. And then I also started hearing every now and then in the forums about his work and stuff like that. And I do hear people complain about him and other porters using epoxy right here. And that's what I did right here, because if you want to go further into that right there, you're gonna have to invade this space right here. So I did use some epoxy, but some people like it, some people are okay with it because they understand. Some people don't understand that. Okay, if you want a fully aggressively ported charger, that's what's gonna have to happen. But you know, but anyway, I got the Ultracharger here from APR with the bigger throttle body, and I'm gonna be putting on. And I did do a video on all this before. Anyway, I ported this and opened it up all the way through as much as I could. Some people tell me that they get it to more. I think I couldn't get that all the way to 80 millimeter. I forgot what I got it to. I think I got it to like high 70 something or something like that. I can't remember what I put it at. I think I said it in the other video, but anyway, I'm gonna be putting all this together. It's getting late, so I'm gonna just try to get the charger off. I might come back and show you guys where that sensor is. And then I got this other oil pressure sensor, and this one goes on the back of this oil filter housing somewhere. I haven't felt it back there, but when I get the charger, I'll try to feel for it. If I can get to it, I'll switch that one out, but this is the main one that usually goes bad. So anyway, a lot of talking. I went ahead and got some new intercoolers for it, some more oil, some seals and stuff, the rest of the APR kit. Funny thing about these is that the day that I was gonna get those, I was actually gonna get the more expensive ones, I think from ECS or eBay or something, some OEM ones. So that same day I was just about to order, then Cameron posted that a few months back is when I was doing that. Cameron had just posted that, hey, FCP Euro just got some cores in and they're pretty decent price. So I went and looked and I was like, oh man, cool. So shout out to Cameron for that. Thanks, man. Saved my life right there. Cause I was, like I said, I was about to spend some quid on these right here, on those intercoolers. So those were like pretty cheap as far as the intercoolers go. So, and these are actually OEM. They're made by Mel, but they're actually, you know, Mel is the one who makes them for the OEM. So I'm going to be throwing those in, and then I got to put sealant on this, put the oil back in, and then I got some grease, some of the needle bearing grease to put back into the charger too. And I guess that's gonna be it. I'm gonna put this back together and then I'll get right back with you guys. Start it up. We'll see how it sounds. Like I said, I do have the APR Ultracharger, but I'm running the 034. So if you saw the video, I had to rewire this to work with the 034. So I'm gonna have to upload the tune for the big old throttle body, and then this will be ready to go, and then we'll see how it sounds. So I'll be right with you guys. I'm into taking it apart. I just want to show something that you can see there's all these hoses right here going to these valves. So what I did was I just numbered them 1, 2, 3. Then I numbered the valves themselves 1, 2, 3. So when they, you know, when I go back, put everything back, I know exactly where it goes. Even though they're shaped, you could, for the most part, see where everything goes. But just to be safe, I went ahead and numbered them. And another thing that was giving me a little bit of a headache was this right here. You have to squeeze these 2 tabs in, but this stuff gets old and you can see that rubber is kind of dry. So it makes it tough to actually pull this out. So what I did was I grabbed some of these and squeezed the 2 tabs on the side. Then I took a flathead right here, just turned it a little bit. Then I did the same thing on the other side, turned it a little bit while I was squeezing 2 tabs with that, and then I was able to get it to come out. So I just want to show you guys that right quick. One more thing, these chargers aren't hard to remove. I removed one at the junkyard. I think it came off in like 10 or 15 minutes, somewhere around like 10 or 15. I think it was like 10 minutes or something like that. But it was one at the junkyard, so this whole front end was off, so I was able to get to that to loosen the belt a lot easier. So, but that would be the only thing. But they're not hard to come off. You just got to move, and depending on how you take them off, you got to move some stuff out of the way. So I also numbered these plugs back here, 1, 2, 3. But the other thing is, you got this line right here for the brake. For the I forget what it's called, the brake vacuum thing. So that goes in here. You just move that up because you're gonna have to remove these 2 on either side of the SuperCharger. You can see this part of the SuperCharger's under those, and it's just these 4 bolts right there. But other than that, it's just, you know, unplugging all the sensors. There's one down there for the throttle body. Taking everything else off and out the way, and just be careful pulling it up. I'm probably gonna have my nephew help me pull it straight up, and then that's it. I mean, of course, taking these 2 off, and that's it. But they're pretty easy. These are pretty easy to take out. All right, you guys, I got the charger. She is dark. Came off real easy and quick though. The only problem I ran into was I didn't have my 16 mil. You can see it drop down there, but I had to go get it from out of this car, and this car was at another house, so I had to stop what I was doing, go get that, because that was the last thing to take the charger off. So I had to take that belt off, use that 16 mil to take the belt off, took the 6 screws off, and that was it. Came straight up. So I just put some 2 things through there to kind of lift it up, so I could just lift it up from both sides straight up like that, and it just came right out. So pretty easy to get the charger off. You just got to be careful with everything connected to it, mainly the stuff on the back. But that's it, piece of cake. I am going to be back in here soon to, I want to walnut blast the valves. I'll probably change the PCV, maybe do the Merc Racing PCV upgrade and all that type of stuff, and some other stuff in here. Water pump, all that stuff. So I gotta get the ported charger together tonight, so that's gonna be my project tonight, and then I'll put it back on in the morning, and then we'll be back. You guys gotta see this. All right, so I just test fitted the charger, right? And remember I told you I opened up the ports? Ted is the one I asked, I told him I wanted to open it up because that was the one thing that didn't do, Jokers didn't do. So he sent me some measurements, and I was asking him for measurements. So I think he had an old charger or something laying around with these ports right there. So I opened it up based off of that, and man, let me see if I can. It won't focus, but man, it comes right to the edge, man. I'm real happy about that. And then you can see how I have it chamfered down. And I actually tried to put like a bevel so it's not going just straight like that. It's kind of like a bevel so the air would kind of move around it and rush in, kind of like a Venturi effect. So I'm real happy about that, man. It's I was actually worried that they might be too big, but man, they came out. That is crazy, because it's almost like you would think whoever did it actually had that lower manifold portion off and almost traced it. That's how close it is to the edge of those ports. So this is gonna flow pretty good into there. It would be nicer, of course, if somebody made a port or something that going into the head be better, but this is nice. I think later on down the line, I might try to do the 034 cams or something on here. But this is nice. This is gonna be good. Cause something told me to try to test fit it and see in there, but this is real nice, y'all. I like this. If the camera would focus. And then, you know how I was telling you guys that I kind of beveled this side right here where that wall is. On this side, that's not an issue because it goes straight down to there. But there was kind of a sharp edge, so I just kind of worked that, smoothed that out a little bit going into the port. So this is nice. I like it. All right, I just want to show you guys that I gotta get all this off of the car, get everything together. I gotta put the rotor pack back in, the grease, seal everything back up. Then this will be ready to go back in the morning. And of course, I gotta do the sensor. I might do that so I don't forget. Might do that tonight so I don't forget. All right, I just want to show you guys that. All right, y'all, I'm back. This is the next day. I was so tired last night, I just called it a night. So you can see I did not work on the supercharger at all. So I'm gonna be doing that today. But right, y'all, it's been somewhat of a slow day. I've been having to stop and go do other things. It's Sunday, so you know how that is. But anyway, I got a little OCD after I did the sensor and went in and tried to clean everything up the best I could. And I also did this. These sound dampeners. I put some heat shielding on the back of them. So I know a lot of people, I think I said something about this before, but I think a lot of people are saying because the PCV sits under the charger that, probably be an issue or whatever. But it's not like this is sitting right over it and not like it's airtight or anything. So it's spaced away. So heat is still going to be able to dissipate out back under it. There's just going to be less heat radiating up to the charger itself. And especially right here where the heads are. Because you can see these are right on the side of the charger and the coolers and everything, so there's extra heat coming up to the side. So this will help a little bit with the heat, but we'll see how it does. But I also found that it has a aftermarket PCV, so it looks like the PCV was done. And like I said, this car doesn't really burn a lot of oil at all, so I'm gonna have to check the records to see what's been done to the car and when and at what mileage and everything. But anyway, I got pretty much everything else done that I wanted to do before I was going to get the charger in, like cleaning things up and replacing some things. But I'm gonna work on the charger tonight, putting everything back together. I got to seal it, put the intercoolers in. I'll probably put a little silicone on the sides of the on the sides of the little silicone grease on the sides of the rubber that they slide in, so they'll be easier to take out later if I need to. So I know on the other charger I had, I mean, the intercoolers were real hard to take out, almost kind of like bent. Actually destroyed them, actually, trying to get them out. But I knew I was going to use them anyway. But anyway, I got to seal this up and everything, put everything back together, and then I'll be back tomorrow putting everything back on. And then we'll start up and probably go for a drive too. All right, you guys, I'm going to cut part 1 here so I have enough room to post both videos. But this is actually in the future. Got everything back together. I just not too long ago went and put some E85 in to get it to E40. It's actually my first time running the E40 file since I've had the tune. So yeah, I actually haven't even driven it hard. You had to drive around a little while to let it adapt and let the ethanol gauge get all the way down to E40 to make sure everything was right. So I'm going to be posting part 2, should be posting it tomorrow. So it'll be one right after the other. But like I said, everything's together, everything seems pretty good. I'm gonna go out and test drive this and get on it for the second part of the video. And of course, we're going to be going over where I left off in this video all the way up to this point, and then we'll go from there. All right, I will see you guys in the next video, hopefully tomorrow. So leave a like, comment, subscribe, and share, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.